So, a lot of smart people at the moment seem to be talking about blended learning. They seem to think that blended learning could be the next big thing in education. And they may be right. A lot of teachers are already trying it and they've been having some success. But what exactly is blended learning? Well, in a nutshell, blended learning is a mix of face-to-face learning and online instruction. And as long as you have those two things in your teaching, you're doing blended learning. The key is to get the right mix for you and your students. Now, I like to think of blended learning as making ice cream and strawberry dessert. Now, both these two things are really good on their own, but when you mix them together, you get something even better. Now, here's a more concrete example. One teacher I know records videos of herself explaining maths theory, and then she posts these videos onto her school's learning platform. Because the learning platform is available online, her students can watch these videos when they're not at school. After they've seen them, they have to do a quick test. And the test is important because the report tells the teacher how well the students understood the theory. And this means that she can plan her next lesson accordingly. It means that she can make more effective use of her class time. She can spend it going over things that her students found difficult, answering questions they may have, and practicing what her students learned. Now, according to the teacher, she loves this because it lets her spend more time with each individual student. This example also shows us something important about blended learning. Teaching online, it gives your students more choice. It gives them some control over where they learn, when they learn, and how they learn, which is one reason why they tend to like it. One final thought. After hearing this, you might be thinking, but why is this so special? I've been asking my students to work at home using their books all my life. Isn't this the same? Well, yeah, it is essentially the same. The only difference really is that the online world is a lot more interesting and interactive than most textbooks. There are thousands of teaching resources available online, lots of them free. And there are tests that are marked automatically. There are educational games and loads of tools that will get your students' imaginations flowing and help them achieve more. Also, with the advance of learning platforms, all of this can now be done within a safe and secure school-controlled environment. You can create an online learning environment that's only available to you and your students, so you know that they have access to what they need without having to visit any external websites. So that is blended learning in a nutshell. I hope you found it useful.
Hi there, everybody. I want to point out a couple of websites that we'll be using this year as a good hub or starting point, both for students and parents. If you go to Ovid Elsie's homepage, www.ovidlc.org, there's a lot of information here, but I'd really like to point out two things. Schoology, as I'll get to that in just a second, is basically an interactive learning management system site that we use. And let's go to staff directory. I want to point out one thing first. Obviously, your son or daughter is in the middle school, so it might be easiest just to go to the middle school link, and then they're listed alphabetically, not just teachers, but also custodians, secretaries, paraprofessionals, and other staff members. And if you get down to my name, my email address is right here. Every teacher has one, as well as websites right below. So I'm going to have show you how to click on my website tab. There's headings across the top. The first is the course syllabus, which shows class content. Basically, we're learning about earth science, life science, and physical science this year. It's a combination. My grading policy, and then student responsibilities, expectations, routines, and things expected of the students to follow in class. There's a page for each. Also, weekly lessons. I will post usually a Word document showing our lesson for the week, what we'll be doing every day of the week. This one just happens to be a really long one because it was at the end of the year for a final exam. And usually there'll be a link there where you can actually print it out from home if you need to print that, or download it yourself and save it to an electronic device. Schoology, this is a very important link. Like I said, you can access it on Ovid Elsie's homepage, or I put a link right in my webpage here. And your son or daughter will be getting usernames and passwords to use this. But basically, they'll have a view something like this. It'll be a little bit different than teachers. But up here under courses, they'll have their first hour class. Or if you're in second hour science, it'll say second hour science 2. It might say math 3 if you're in third hour math. Whatever your class is, they'll be up there personally for you. And if you click on that, you'll see that I will have units here, assignments and things like that, if we do them online. So this is a really important link for students especially, or for parents if they want to check on their progress. Now, if we jump back to my webpage, I want to point out class materials. This is the meat and the potatoes of the class. I have it broken down by unit, and here's where I have all the forms, notes, copies, papers, review guides, any other thing for that unit is right there, and you're able to download them yourself at home. The nice thing about developing this is it really helps students who are gone, whether they're sick or they have doctor's or dentist appointments, or for some reason you're on a family vacation. Some students are able to catch up even without having to contact the teacher or even talk to a friend or anything like that. It just gives you more access to know what's going on in the classroom. And I have that for every unit as we go through the school year. I just have some different things. I teach an elective class called STEM Concepts that includes Lego robotics and some other science Olympiad type events. There's some links that students can access to help out with projects, a little bit of history on me, some science jokes, pictures, and then I'm also the coach of our Science Olympiad team, which competes against other schools every year down in the Lansing area on different science events. But that's kind of a heads up on two really important websites we'll be using. Please let me know if you have any questions about using these sites.